Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whatever time zone you may be in. This is Off the Grid Podcast with Aiden and Jared.
You don't have to like justice to the truth.
Aiden's like evil or something. Anyways, we are doing a different... we're going to do more of a conspiracy theory podcast today.
Well, over the next couple of weeks, I would actually say, because
it's kind of
we're doing what we told you guys we would do.
Yeah,
it's the first part of this. It's going to be put in a separate playlist. We feel though that it is very important that we talk about this. We're going to be talking about the Illuminati. And before we get started, I just want to say, and we'll reiterate this throughout the podcast, all our parts. But first of all, I want to let you guys know that a lot of what we say may not be proven true. This is just what we found and what we believe to be the truth, right, Judd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like this is stuff that...
But it is important to talk about, though, nonetheless.
Right. I mean, we're not going to necessarily believe everything that we find. Like, some of the stuff is kind of ridiculous.
Right.
And it's like, But then at the same point...
The stuff that's scary.
Yeah. I mean, there could be some truth to what we find tonight.
And what's being said, yeah.
Yeah, what's being said. And since we're doing like a multi-part series on the Illuminati, which is what we're doing, if we didn't already say that, then, we're going to find a lot of interesting things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're going to uncover stuff that we didn't know about before. Like, even just researching a little bit before we started tonight.
We found some stuff that was absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah, and it was like there were some connections that I didn't see when I first started the research process. Yeah. So, I mean, there's only...
I found a pretty cool Freemason thing, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad I was able to help out.
So,
anyways.
Yes, Aiden's doing a very good job over here.
Oh my gosh.
Good job, Aiden.
Aiden's getting on track now.
Yeah.
Check out Autism Podcast.
Yeah. Anyways. So yeah, but before we get into...
We have a couple announcements, right?
Our usual announcements. So don't forget to subscribe to our podcast if you haven't already. Our podcast is available on YouTube, Google Podcasts, and Spotify. We also have a TikTok account where we post short clips from our podcast that you may have missed. And we have our own radio station on the Zeno Radio app called WOTG, where we have our podcast playing 24/7. We also go live on WOTG every so often called OTG Headlines.
Yes.
So where we discuss various events that we have been that have been clogging the headlines over the past week.
Which I think, as Jared said, I think we're going to make that our political stuff, right? We're going to try to make that our political side.
Yeah, so like OTG Headlines is going to be
the
political stuff. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a certain amount of headlines.
Right.
It could literally just be one topic that we discuss.
Right.
And that goes on our station.
Right.
And of course our usual podcast will be available on Spotify and everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So you'll be able to get the Illuminati that we're recording right now. This podcast series is going to be
the audio version, right?
The audio version is going to be on Zeno as usual.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
All the different
right
podcasts. Yep, as usual.
Oh yeah. So without further ado, I guess we can get into it. Is there anything else that we wanted to talk about before we started, or we good?
Not really. I mean,
all right. Just want to make sure. Let me bring this
up
a little.
I'm pretty warm right now.
Yeah, you're gonna get overheated fast. So I guess we'll just start out from the top here. So like I said, we're doing this Illuminati podcast. This is something that's been circulating on social media.
Yeah.
At least
for years, I would say for years.
For years, but recently it's been gaining more attention.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just me not noticing it before, or it was...
Probably because of Kanye, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's part of it, probably. I mean, and also, like, TikTok, too. Like, people are spreading all these, conspiracies around on TikTok, and then, more people are finding out about it.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of that, we're also going to go into some of those TikTok videos that I found, and Aiden's gonna find some too, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And
we're probably gonna be pretty funny.
Oh yeah. So what is the Illuminati? First of all, this is the first part. We're talking about the background of the Illuminati, and then we'll kind of just work our way from there. For next parts, but the background of the Illuminati. First of all, so what is the Illuminati? The Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, which is an Enlightenment-era secret society founded on the 1st of May, 1776 by Adam Weishaupt. Weishaupt!
We're going to be doing that a lot tonight, guys.
In Bavaria today, part of Germany.
Today's goals.
I can't read. The society's goals were to oppose superstition, obscurantism.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Religious influence over public life and abuses of state power. Quote, the order of the day, they wrote in their general statutes, is to put an end to the...
Sorry, I don't know what came over me there.
Machinations of the purveyors of injustice, to control them without dominating them.
How I like it.
The Illuminati, along with Freemasonry and other secret societies, were outlawed through edict by Charles Theodore, Elector of Bavaria, with the encouragement of the Catholic Church, which is interesting. In 1784, 1785, and 1787 and 1790. During subsequent years, the group was generally vilified by conservative and religious critics who claimed that the Illuminati continued underground and were responsible for the French Revolution.
Which I believe that.
Oh, yeah. And then it continues, finding Freemasonry expensive and not open to his ideas, he founded his own society, which was to have a system of ranks or grades based on those in Freemasonry, but with his own agenda. His original name for the new order was Bunder Perfectiblisten. I think.
Bunder Perfectiblisten!
Yeah. Or Covenant of the Perfectibility. Perfectiblists. He later changed it because it sounded too strange. On the 1st of May, 1776, Weishaupt and 4 students formed the Perfectiblists, taking the Owl of Minerva as their symbol. The members were to use Elias... What?
Lost! Oh! How was I had a whole paragraph? Never mind.
You missed something?
Yes. Never mind. Just continue what you want. I'm stupid today. The members were to use, right?
Yeah, the members were to use aliases within the society. Weishaupt became Spartacus. What?
It's aliases.
Aliases. I can't read.
Aliases.
Aliases. Oh my god.
Take over Jared or no?
I can continue.
Okay. No, I'm not trying to be a smart ass.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just struggling tonight. Law students, Massenhausen.
Both!
Mars.
And Serton!
Became respectively Ajax. Isn't that a cleaning agent?
I mean, if I want to point to the word, I guess so. Agathon!
Tiberius.
And Asimus Mephidamus! What's up? They don't expound pseudo for indolence. Oh my gosh.
In April 1778, the order became the or Order of Illuminati.
After Weishaupt! I seriously contemplated the name Beorda. Oh my gosh.
That was a rough read. Oh.
So I'm supposed to go off, I guess, Jared.
Oh god, here we go. So this is
first of all, actually, to be serious for a second, this is a pretty interesting sign. I'm guessing that this was like a sort of like basically advertising poster for the group, probably. I mean, I could probably see these being put on like walls and stuff in this town square and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
almost like flyers or something.
Well, yeah, this is the this is from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
This whole that whole paragraph and all
Yeah.
that. And so this image, I guess, was their original logo,
Yeah.
and that was I guess Illuminati.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is Illuminati, I guess.
In German.
And yeah, so that's the Owl of Minerva perched on a book.
Was an emblem used by the Bavarian Illuminati in the Minerva degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna try to read this here because we're having fun with it before the
Yes. You try it.
podcast.
You try
Das
it.
Barfarten.
Gotham! Illuminaten! Metallen! And then you take this one, Jared.
Finding Gotham Ungarkeglogen.
Yeah!
It'll never be the same each time we read it. It's different.
No. It changes just like the group does.
Yeah.
Grasshopper and fun at them Pat.
I can't even
What does
try.
that even say down there?
Gergolglitchkov. Goth. Garoth.
Go.
They all look the same to me.
His fitness of Phaeton!
Kursaruga Paterni. Sounds Irish.
Paterni! That's like a Paterni!
Paterni.
Quemfina tonight! Meine Termination Office!
That was so fluent.
Oh my god. Are you sure I'm not German? My god.
Sounds like you'd speak it, man.
I'm not a Nazi, I promise. I just am falling! Ow!
Here, can you read that last line there? Or those?
Suddenly I'm the German expert, okay? I can try. I can read that last
Right.
one.
Where were we? Can't read it.
Fight for den Sitz Pig!
In Bergartenhaken. Buchenglug.
No, that says Buchenblun!
Buchenblung.
1788.
It's so calm. Oh.
Wait, no! The Germans, they get all angry, they're like yelling, and then they go, 1788. Shit.
That's great. Oh, it'll never.
Illuminati!
I'd like to read. I'd like to have them read the announcements. At this.
Oh my god, on a soapbox, just be like,
Illuminati. Oh.
wait, the camera caught all that, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It's
Oh my
been on
God.
this whole time. Yeah, just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not
That's
recording.
gonna be funny to watch back.
Oh.
My voice, though. Oh my god. Excuse me, guys. That's disgusting.
You all right there, my guy?
Oh, the German's too intense. I need some. I need some whiskey.
No,
How is that funny?
it's supposed to be a joke.
Okay, so Jared, you read this then. So speaking of Freemasonry, right?
Yeah, well, I think it was out of order here because I meant to have
Yeah.
that one above
Okay.
Freemasonry,
Right.
just because we
Okay,
were
so
talking about
let's-
the owl thing.
Okay, so let's dissect the first section for a second of that, I guess.
Yeah,
If you want. Do you want to?
yeah, that's perfectly fine.
So that's what we know, right? That's fact right there. That's fact. That's an actual
Yeah,
group
that
that
was-
existed.
Yeah, it's not some fabricated poster.
Right.
It's real.
Which is funny because the word Illuminati means enlightened.
Yeah.
That's like the meaning of the word.
So, because they were acting as like an underground.
It's ironic, is it not? Isn't it ironic
It
that
is
they preached enlightenment, but yet they are an underground society?
right.
Or secret society, rather, but still.
Well, the thing is, it is a secret society, but like, it still has secrets to this day. Like people
Right,
just don't
yeah.
know. You
And
know.
don't think for a second, guys, that it hasn't lived into today. It has.
Yeah.
And it's only grown.
Right. And the thing is
Gosh,
not.
I'm gonna sound like such doomsday prepper people, but I don't care. You know what?
Yeah,
Let it
it's
happen. You know what? It's important.
It is important. 'Cause I mean, it's very important to understand like some of the maybe the inner workings of
society.
I mean,
Yes.
like, you kind of wonder because you see different conspiracy
Biden,
theories,
for example.
like with his earlobes or something. They were talking about his earlobes being.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm just going off this premise, Jared.
Yeah.
You don't have to get into conspiracy territory. What you kind of do, but not really. When you say what I'm about to say, which is, Biden doesn't seem like he can run the country by himself. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, that too.
Like someone who has dementia and stuff. No, there's got to be someone else pulling the strings behind there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No, that makes
sense. Just based
sense.
on that point alone, this.
Yeah.
Illuminati, but.
But anyways. So.
Oh, I got my I don't know if you guys can see it, but my Star Wars socks are on there.
Nice.
My Mandalorian socks. I don't know if it'll make the picture, but yeah, Mandalorian socks.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I just put my leg up for no
Any-
reason, but
Anyways.
jeez, I'm hyping tonight.
You're what? You're what?
I'm hyping tonight. Jeez,
Yeah, you are. You were all sleepy before.
Sleepy Joe,
Yeah.
Sleepy Griffith.
So there's some reasons, like to dissecting this first section a little bit. There's
One being what?
Well, it's interesting that they chose the owl.
Okay.
For as part of their logo. Because it represents
we'll get into it, yeah, but
it represents
death, right?
Like this, according to the occultworld.com, it says the owl is associated with death, for one, sorcery,
Which
and
is the more important word there for the Illuminati.
Yeah. Sorcery and the dark underside of life. To the ancient Egyptians, the owl represented night, death, and cold. The Bible, Leviticus, says the owl is an unclean bird. The ancient Greeks, however, viewed it as a sacred symbol of wisdom, for the owl was the constant companion of Athena, goddess of wisdom.
Again, enlightenment, wisdom, enlightenment.
That the whole entire thing,
the whole group,
works
no matter what
with-
group you're from,
yeah,
it's all preaching enlightenment and seeing the world in a new way.
yeah.
In their view.
But also, too, dude,
that's what it keeps coming back to, at least in my mind.
Well, from what I understand, like the Illuminati, they do all these weird like blood rituals, which we'll get into that in a minute. But that involves death. But then you got people that are enlightened. You know, they think they know better about.
And I have a
the inner
theory about
working
how
of
that
life.
goes, but
Yeah, but the owl is like the perfect symbol for the Illuminati.
Oh yeah. Because it's always watching.
Yeah,
First of all, think about that for a second.
yeah, because it's able to. Yeah, you ever
When its
see?
head 360 degree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second and that kind of symbolism right there. All right, so what about these blood rituals, Jared?
Well,
What?
let's go back to the Freemasonry thing before.
Yeah,
we don't want to skip that.
we should have. I should have organized these better. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
You want to read this one, Jared?
You can read this one, dude, if you want.
So this is from a primary source.
Yeah.
It's
Same as
said-
with the occult world. That was
Yeah.
a witchcraft website.
It's called beafreemason.org, right?
Yeah.
And so their motto and stuff is like, not just a man, a mason. A Freemason is committed to bettering himself, his community. This is from the site, guys. A Freemason is committed to bettering himself, his community, and the world. He is on a journey of self-discovery, believing in something greater than himself, a journey in which you will be supported by other good men. Become the best version of you. Answer the call. Begin the journey. Well, we're not going to do that. We're just going to read about what it is. So this is the section that's interesting. Thank you, Jared.
You're welcome.
So what is Freemasonry, guys, right?
Yeah.
So Freemasonry or Masonry is the oldest fraternal organization in the world. Though its origins can be traced to the stonemasons and cathedral builders of medieval times, Freemasonry remains a vital force in the daily lives of millions of men across the globe. Through a series of degrees and ceremonies, the values of Freemasonry are pay attention, passed from generation to generation, mason to mason, in a timeless and tireless effort to make good men better. These degrees provide a framework that affects every aspect of modern life and are based on the values of brotherly love, relief, and truth. Every year, in virtually every city and town across America, thousands of men join the ranks of Freemasonry, men of honor and integrity, of charity and obligation. Each of them vow to be the best they can be, to be more than just a man, to be a Mason. See if there's anything else worth talking about. And as you see, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm not going to read all this, but... Oh, wait, never mind, that's not that much. You want to zoom in a little bit, Jared?
Yeah.
So, who we are. That's another section. A Freemason is a man who has taken an obligation to uphold our timeless principles of brotherly love, relief, and truth. Beyond these basics, being a Freemason means so much more. A Freemason is a man who is committed to burning himself in his community, having taken a solemn vow to help and mentor his Masonic brothers to do the same. A Freemason is a man eager to be part of something bigger than himself with a reverence for history, compassion in his heart, and a desire to create a better future. There are 3 degrees in Freemasonry: Entered Apprentice, Fellowcraft, and Master Mason. Most men advance to the level of Master Mason, some over the course of months. Others may accomplish this goal over years. But once a man has taken his first obligation as an Entered Apprentice, he is once and forever a Freemason. So that's the Who We Are section of that page. And another...
It's kind of an eerie
some pictures,
slogan here.
It says, look inside yourself. You see the world a whole new way.
I wonder if it says anything else about what we believe. Okay.
It's just reiterating the points.
Okay, so
that's basically that site, yes.
So when I...
And look at the symbol down there, though, Joe. Look at the symbol. What is it? It's like a triangle. That looks oddly weird, does it not?
Yeah.
Tell them what that looks like, Joe.
Looks like a triangle shape, like the Illuminati in the middle.
Yeah. The G, though, what's that mean? I don't know, but...
G. I'm going to screenshot that, though, so I don't lose it.
Yeah. And you're thinking that the Freemasons are just a section of the Illuminati, is what you're thinking, Jared?
Yeah, like they split off from the original.
Yeah. Or the Illuminati split off from them, technically.
Yeah, I guess so.
So this is the older organization.
Right.
Technically, I guess, but...
So...
The Illuminati got bigger?
So if Freemasonry is still around, then you know for a fact that the Illuminati has the chance of still being a thing.
And what I think happened, I think the Illuminati sucked them into their thing.
Yeah.
So they still exist, but they're just a part of the Illuminati now.
Yeah.
Because they're big and they control everything literally now, so...
Right.
I just go up for a second, Joe, and let's talk about some of these pictures.
Yeah.
Go up a
Sorry.
little bit. No, you're good. It's literally like the classic old tale of men in nice suits and witch men, I guess, getting together and doing whatever, probably scheming about world plans or whatever, but they won't tell us that.
Yeah, it was I guess I read.
And yes, Club 33, we'll talk about that way later. Probably another part, but it is Freemasonry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but
Right. No, I heard of that. But from what I understand, I guess what they believe in this Freemasonry thing is almost on the lines of it from the surface, it looks like it has Christian ideals.
Yeah. I got major Christian vibes while reading that, yes.
But
it's twisted, like everything is.
But it's not. It's not Christianity. It's not based on it.
It's good. I guess these values are good. If you want to say it, they're good. Like knowledge, honesty, understanding, that's all good.
But my question is, what do these people do behind closed doors?
What? And that's the thing. Freemasonry is very secretive. They're very secretive. Like when you join in a let's say a Freemason group like this, you're not allowed to talk about what goes on at these meetings. You know that, right?
Right.
So it just leaves me wondering what they talk about.
Yeah.
And if they meet with other groups. other than themselves. Like the ones that control them. Illuminati. Like,
Yeah, you kind of wonder like what their connection is to the Illuminati.
I think they're part of it, technically speaking.
So like they're in communication with each other?
Constantly, I feel.
It's interesting though, that they don't just merge and continue to be one.
Well, that's what I think they did.
And then they eventually split off?
No. You know how, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how there's 20th Century Fox?
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of other companies that are underneath 20th Century Fox that have their own
Yeah,
websites that have
yeah.
their own. So it's that kind of thing. Well, they're all part of the Illuminati, but like they can have their own little.
Oh,
sites
gotcha.
and-
So you're saying the Illuminati's like at the top of the pyramid,
Yeah.
and then as it works down,
Yeah, you get like these.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. Yep. And then whoever wants to talk has to talk to the higher ups, the Illuminati. And they probably come and check in on them and see how they're doing every once in a while. Be like, hey guys, what's going on? Like,
yeah,
how are our plans proceeding? Something like that.
right. Wow.
It's like a ladder, corporate ladder, but in this form.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that was a little bit about Freemasonry. We'll touch back on that though, in a later podcast probably.
Later video. Yep.
But
now this though is interesting.
So yeah, this I found before we got together today. This is about we've been doing research on this for a while.
Long while.
Now, and we still got
a long while. We still have a lot more to go, right, Jared?
Oh yeah, we got to do research.
Out the wazoo.
In terms of different like, like say we're looking at the economy and how the Illuminati affects that. Like we gotta break that down.
Rather. You guys will find out that very quickly that control is going to be one of the main buzzwords of this series.
Yeah. So some insider details on blood rituals, and how the Illuminati gets away with it for so long. This is from Stillness in the Storm. Stillnessinthestorm.com.
Yeah.
And it says this article was written by someone that goes by the name of Savali. Now I don't know.
Maybe a cover name. Maybe
this could be a cover name because it says here that Savali was allegedly a member of the Illuminati for 38 years of his life, spanning from 1957 to 1995. And it says, based on this experience, he discusses exactly how security was maintained both in Northern Virginia and San Diego, California. So already right off the bat, they're talking...
there were different sects of them in different states.
Yeah, meaning...
First of all.
Yeah, so understand this. If they're split off in different, parts of the United States, they're probably going to have slightly different rituals. You know what I mean?
Or groups.
Or groups. Because what I'm saying is like one person's experience may not be the experience that everyone is having.
Yes. Some people want to join the more extreme blood cutting, all that crazy crap because they're nuts in the head. While other people just want probably the more corporate, it even feels weird to say, more corporate Illuminati, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And they also have slight differences like, kind of like how people have slight differences with how they celebrate like birthdays or Christmas or something.
Yeah.
Not everyone does things the same way.
Right.
Well, in these secret societies, they have slightly different ways of doing things. Like, instead of, killing a child, they might kill an animal instead, Their rituals are slightly different. But anyways, it says...
All messed up, though.
Yeah, it's all messed up, mind you.
Yeah.
But this guy goes into detail of how the Illuminati was able to get away with it for so long.
Which is how, Jed? Let's read some of this.
So, number 1, telephone tree. General meetings were scheduled by the Leadership Council well in advance, usually several months. during their private meetings. In turn, these dates were then given to ranking leaders in the group who, several days prior to a meeting, would activate a telephone tree. Higher members first called their
This is
peers.
what I was talking about. Jeez, yeah.
Interesting how that works. Then those beneath them in the group
Yep.
hierarchy. Those at the lowest level were notified just one night before the meeting date since they were considered higher security risks. Ooh.
I don't know what that means.
That's funny.
I don't know what that means in their language or higher secure. Probably information leaking out. Probably.
Yeah, they're worried about like
like a whistleblower or something.
that's like if you
Yeah.
like make an announcement on a video game to like too early, and then it spreads around. You know what I mean? Like you don't want it getting out. Anyways.
Oh my god.
Next one is
I've just been one of the paragraphs. Oh my god.
so conditioning. The second one is conditioning to remain silent. From the age of 24 months, all children in the group were taught the importance of not discussing group
From how
activities
young?
during the daytime. Teaching methods include setups in which a member told and was then punished by the administration of torture.
Wait.
What?
From how young?
24 months? Which is 2 years?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a long time. Okay.
Setups were designed to look very realistic, with the betrayer loudly screaming throughout his punishment, which may have included drowning, burning, or even murder. This graphic experience of what happened to those who tell served as an unforgettable lesson to young children. Let me zoom in slightly here. Oh, there we go.
Oh my gosh.
Other methods included beating the child if he spoke of night-related activities in the daytime. The adults around the child also modeled this behavior by never discussing night activities the following morning. If the child mentioned something, he would be told you were dreaming and to forget it. Severe and brutal physical punishment of children was also used. Set up scenarios such as fake burials, where the child is then retrieved from a coffin and told he will stay below ground forever should he even think of talking about group activities. Yeah, that would definitely
Like buried alive.
Yeah, that would the fear of that would definitely scare you from telling anybody.
Yeah.
I was put through that scenario as a young child and in turn as an adult. Saw it perpetrated upon young children. The child is always screaming and swears to never ever tell. And then number 3, expert cleanup crews. Many rituals involving murder were setups. And it says in parentheses, no, the cult was not murdering its children. However, they did create very realistic setups that had powerful psychological effects on the children.
So fake murder.
Yeah.
Which will still mess you up.
Yeah. Can you imagine the children involved in
Yeah.
this? More commonly, an animal was used during spiritual rituals, as I will discuss in another article. There were many other kinds of meetings. Spiritual was but one of 6 areas of group activities,
Okay.
the others being military, sciences, scholarship, leadership, and government.
Military.
What?
Military? What the fuck?
Does this have to do with like how they're going to control the government?
Yeah,
Like
I think
when it's saying
I think so. I think so.
like they're having meetings
Yeah.
like how they can get in, like infiltrate,
No, how to guide them. I think.
like
Joey.
to get them in the government in the future.
No, I think they already have control of the government. I think it's just like how to, like what, tell them what policies to put in place and like what to.
Because that's how they control.
Yeah,
Oh
I think they've had control of the government for years.
yeah,
Military probably same thing. U.S. military, I'm guessing.
yeah.
What wars to fight, which ones to stay out of. Case in point, us invading Iraq, even though there were no Taliban members there at all.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They went in it for the oil.
Yep, it was an excuse.
Yeah.
members were trained in post-meeting cleanup techniques from childhood. Wooden tables were taken apart, bleached, cleaned, and then loaded into vans. Clothes were folded in preparation for laundering later. If the site was outdoors, then the area was raked clean. If inside a large private home, then the site was thoroughly washed down.
That's what I think that means, not just this, but
like,
flamethrower shit.
ooh, yeah. Like burning it.
Yeah.
That
is a form of cleaning.
Yeah.
You know that, but
it's fire sanitizes.
Complete cleaning though, like absolute complete cleaning. I mean, meaning like incinerated, like it's
for sure, yeah. And then it says
restriction of meeting size, right?
Yeah, so in order to avoid overly large meetings, the San Diego group was divided into 24 sister groups, each approximately 60 members, that met on alternating days at alternating sites. Some groups met on Mondays and Thursdays, others on Tuesdays and Fridays, and yet others on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Usually 2 groups, occasionally 3, would meet together at one site. Only at major annual meetings would large numbers congregate. As mentioned above, meeting times were coordinated by telephone trees, which is interesting. They try to keep... It's smart that they try to keep the amount of people down, because the less people they have, the less, like, meeting at one time, the less worry that they're going to get caught.
Yeah.
Because...
And even if they were, what are they going to do? If they're as powerful as we think they are.
Well, yeah.
The police aren't going to do anything.
Yeah, because they're probably all...
Part of it.
The only thing that would come as a surprise is to the public.
Territory, I know, but...
Yeah. But that's kind of like, well, what we're doing here.
Right. That's like the scene in John Wick, where after he gets done killing all the people in his house, the police officer comes to his house, and he's like, officer's name is Jimmy, right? And John looks like, hey, Jimmy. And he's like, hey, how you doing? He looks over, the officer looks over, sees the dead body, gives him a warning and walks off. Because he knows he's part of an underground assassin network, and he's like, okay, I'm not messing with this guy.
Yeah.
Like, he's even more powerful than we are, so it's like that kind of thing.
Yeah, because, like, the police, they're not going to be able to stand up to...
The Illuminati,
no.
Good analogy, I feel.
Yeah. The next one is clandestine.
Yeah.
Clandestine times. Meetings were held between 12:30 a.m. and 2 a.m., and on occasion were extended to 4 a.m. Traffic would be light.
That's a big one.
Yep. Members often lived in communities where everyone was a member of the group. Oh, yes, there are cult communities because like attracts like.
Huh.
I don't know what that means. And often whole neighborhoods are comprised exclusively of cult members. So, in that case, interesting.
Let's just read more of this.
So people would leave quietly in the night with car lights off until they were out on the street. The adult non-driver would be the watcher, checking as they were not they were not being followed.
Yeah.
So interesting that they mentioned with the car lights off.
Yeah.
Have you? And maybe this is getting into some conspiracy territory here, but have you ever been in a car at night and seen people without their lights on?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
And you wonder what idiot are you?
Wait, maybe they're not idiots.
maybe they're going somewhere and they don't want to be noticed.
Right.
But the thing is, they stick out like a sore thumb when you don't have your lights on.
If they were really wanting to blend in, they would turn the lights on probably. But.
Right. Yeah. Says on-site security. The group had several security perimeters around meetings. The first checkpoint, outermost perimeter, was at the 5-mile mark. There were always at least 2 roads leading into the meeting site, and both would be manned by members possessing a list of approved license plate numbers. All vehicles, incoming and outgoing, were checked. Vehicle flow was minimized as families often carpooled. In the event of an unauthorized vehicle breaching the perimeter, a hidden security person, they would stand behind a tree watching, would radio ahead, and the meeting was immediately packed up, and people quickly dispersed. Which I guess makes sense, like, if you have those two access roads, you can escape off of a different road.
Yeah.
You know, while this...
Very smart.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the incoming vehicle would be delayed by the non-hidden security who would pretend to be stranded and in need of assistance. They were taught how to engage the outsider for several crucial minutes. As mentioned above, the reality is that many of the ritual killings, although not all, were setups, fake.
Although not all. Ugh, that one gives me chills.
Yeah.
Some of them are real.
Right, yeah. This is the weird part.
Yeah.
Some involved filling a corpse obtained prior to the ritual with warm blood.
First of all, let's dissect that for a second. Oh no. Like a bunch of people go into a grave and just digging up a body. Like, what in the world? It had to say warm blood. Oh, meaning it's fresh. I probably just died.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know where they got the body from, but it says the child would be allowed to play with a living infant before a ceremony. Then the switch would be made while the child was in a room preparing.
In quotes, yeah.
So, ugh.
Oh, wait. Oh, God. Wait. Oh, no. I just realized what that said. Oh, my God.
What?
You know what that's saying, Joe, right? Read the last sentence again and pay attention to what it's saying.
Then the switch would be made while the child was in a room preparing.
What switch, Joe? What do you think it's talking about?
Like...
It said a living infant.
Well, I think what they're saying...
A dead baby, dude.
Well, yeah, but they're what the... Well, yeah, it is a dead baby, but they're not using the same baby that the infant was playing with.
No. I'm just saying, like, think about being handed a dead baby, dude, though.
Yeah, but it's still traumatizing because basically that child that was mentioned right here.
I've never seen a dead baby. Have you seen a dead baby?
No. But it's saying right here that this child would be allowed to play with the living infant before the ceremony.
Why?
But then they would switch that living infant with the filled corpse, and it would allegedly look like
they killed him.
Like they killed him, and then the child would be basically traumatized.
Yeah.
And would be bullied into
basically.
Bullied into submission and not allowed to say anything about the cult.
Group, right.
Yeah.
Well, the Illuminati, rather, but yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, this is interesting.
So this is a story, then.
Yeah, so this is a more... well, it's not too long after this guy that was a Savali, I guess, that was in the Illuminati for 38 years. This woman was in the Illuminati as well. I don't know.
She defected, apparently.
Yeah, so I don't think she was in the same one necessarily. And if she was, they didn't mention anything about this guy. So anyways, it says Illuminati defector described horrifying satanic rituals. And this is by humansbefree.com, which is kind of an eerie website name. So it says on May 1st, 1989, a nice Jewish girl, age 29, Vicky Polin, appeared on the Oprah show and said her family was part of a satanic cult that dates back to the 1700s. Although they appear to...
Ring any bells?
Yeah.
That's when the Bavarian Illuminati was made. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Although they appear to be upstanding citizens, lawyers, doctors, police officers, etc., they engage in satanic ritual human sacrifice, incest, and cannibalism.
I hate that word.
Often in synagogues. They drink blood and eat babies. She's describing the Illuminati, which originated in the Frankist movement in the 18th century. Jacob Frank,
again, another sect.
Yep. Born Jacob Lieboet, Leibowitz.
Lebowitz, I think.
Lebowitz, maybe. This 1726 to 1791 led a major satanic heresy that shook the Jewish world. They believed that the Messiah would return if the world went over to evil completely. So they encouraged all sexual license and satanic evil as the ultimate good. And just ignore that. I was typing something.
There you go.
Financed by the Frankist Rothschild banking syndicate, which is like a some big banking company that is. I looked a little bit into it. Still exists.
Saying, right?
Has been passed down for generations, which we might look into that later.
Creepy. Yeah.
They subverted all religions and national elites by assuming every religious and political hue.
Like I said. Wait, the next sentence showed.
They took over Freemasonry and are now in the final stage of establishing their world government, aka globalization.
Why did I just say a little while ago? I said what? That the Freemason site was what? A part of them. It's right there.
Yeah, the evidence just keeps rolling out here. So the abuse,
just like a corporate ladder, just like how 20th Century Fox buys, let's say, Blue Sky Studios, or how Disney buys Marvel, or like they'll.
It's just they have like different sects, I guess, of it. The abuse Paulin suffered is a textbook example of how Illuminati families, Jews and non-Jews, treat their children.
And then there's a video we're gonna play.
Yes, this is. I'm just gonna go back up here because that's where the video's at. Click on it.
I really hope it's not disturbing.
This is an. Yeah, it's like some Photoshop thing someone made.
I know, but still, like,
There's Obama and George W. Bush.
Bill Clinton is in the background.
Oh yeah, there he is.
That's so creepy, though. How do I know that's not what happens? Oh my gosh.
Sorry, let me get to that interview here.
Oh, there it is.
My next guest was used also in worshiping the devil, participated in human sacrifice rituals and cannibalism. She says her family has been involved in rituals for generations. She is currently in extensive therapy.
This is from 1989.
Multiple personality disorder, meaning she's blocked out many of the terrifying and painful memories of her childhood. Meet Rachel, who is also in disguise to protect her identity. You come from generations of ritualistic abuse?
Yes, my family has an extensive family tree, and they keep track of who's been involved and who hasn't been involved. And it's gone back to, like, 1700.
And so you were...
Right. I was born into a family that believes in this.
And does everyone else think it's a nice Jewish family? From the outside, you appear to be a nice Jewish girl?
Definitely.
And you all are worshiping the devil inside the home?
Right. There's other Jewish families across the country. It's not just my own family.
Really?
It sounds anti-Semitic, but if this is what's actually
and so
going
who knows
on,
about
it's
it?
like it's not good.
Lots of people now.
I think
that's what people are gonna say. Like that sounds like anti-Semitic, and it sounds like it's.
Well, but it's also saying that not all Jews, are like that.
Right.
And she'll say that in this video.
Okay.
I talked to a police detective in the Chicago area, and several of my friends know, and I've spoke publicly before. And
so when you were brought up in this kind of evilness, did you just think it was normal?
I've blocked out a lot of the memories I had because of my multiple personality disorder. But yes, I mean, it's like if you grow up with something, you think it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought.
So what kinds of things? You don't have to give us the gory details, but what kinds of things went on in the family?
Well, there would be rituals in which babies would be sacrificed, and you would have to,
Whose babies?
There were people who bred babies in our family, no one would know about it. A lot of people were overweight, so you couldn't tell if they were pregnant or not, or they would supposedly go away for a while and then come back. The other thing I want to point out, not all Jewish people sacrifice babies. I mean, no. That's not a very
difficult thing.
I just want to point that out.
This is the first time I heard of any Jewish people sacrificing babies. But anyway, so yeah, you witnessed the sacrifice.
Right. When I was very young, I was forced to participate in that, in which I had to sacrifice an infant.
And the purpose of sacrifice is to what? Is to bring you what? What are you sacrificing for?
For power.
Uh-huh. Power. And so, were you ever used? Were you ever used yourself?
I was molested. I was raped several times.
Mm-hmm. And what's your mother doing?
She's
in all of this. What's her role in all of this?
I'm not exactly what her role is. I haven't, recovered all of my memories, but her family was extremely involved. Mm-hmm. She brought me to it. Mm-hmm. Both of my parents brought me to it.
And where is she now?
She lives in the Chicago metropolitan area. She's on the Human Relations Commission of the town that she lives in, and she's an upstanding citizen. Nobody would suspect her.
Were you raised with a sense of right and wrong, Rachel?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I had both. I mean, to the outside world, everything we did was proper and right, and then there were the nights that things changed, that things just got turned around. What was wrong was right, and what was right was wrong. That's what helps to create somebody to develop MPD.
Mm-hmm. Multiple personalities.
Right.
Now, in your family, did you all call it worshiping the devil?
No,
Rachel?
I don't know.
It was just evil, these things you did.
Right. Well, I said it was evil, and they said it was good. There's a book that I had just come across called Lilith's Cave, which is a book of Jewish mysticism and supernatural, and there's a lot in that book that relates to what I, endured when I was a child.
Probably should have looked into that book a little bit, but
yeah, I didn't really. That's the first time I've heard of that book.
Yeah.
What did you think about that, real quick? That's pretty much it for.
Very, very, very scary. But
that's a long video. I don't want to watch that one.
Very scary, but I don't know. It's hard.
What do you mean?
It's hard to tell if it's BS or not, to be honest.
How
it's
so?
It's really hard because we don't have video evidence of this going on. There's no police footage of it.
Right.
We're going into a house full of dead bodies. There's no,
Well, again, like you just said, if we're talking about the Illuminati, they have control over government authority.
Right.
So their rituals and stuff isn't going to get exposed, by the media and whatnot, because the media don't have an incentive to do so.
Right.
Why
report that then? I mean,
I don't know.
To be honest, though, see, they have so much control that it's like you don't know if what people say is true or false.
Yeah.
No, but it's certainly scary, though, if it is true. Like, think about what might have happened in that house.
Yeah, I guess...
It's like the whole Bob Lazar story.
Yeah.
Like, about the guy who claimed to work at Area 51. There's a lot of evidence to back it up, but, you don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
Because certain labs that he talked about don't have any records of him. We can't find out where he went to college for his degree. And stuff like that. So, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And then also, we have, again, all of these different accounts of...
Right. Just the sheer number of them then should tell you something.
Yeah.
About something going on. Something. Behind the scenes,
And this is just... This whole entire part of this podcast series that we're doing is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know, there's so
It's
much
scary
more to
think
look
about.
into.
I mean, it's scary to think that sacrificing babies is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, this
Dark is this gonna get?
could get pretty dark by the time we're done with the series, because we're going to get into more firsthand accounts of these different celebrities that are involved in the business, and this is going to be a huge part, which is the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Movies,
And the
music,
shit that they
whatever.
Have to do. Yeah.
And I have some religious stuff to throw in there as well to kind of understand
Which
where
we're
some
all
of this
about.
is coming
we're
from.
all about too.
Yeah.
A rebellion against God is all it will say for now. But
yeah. So lastly, I wanted to go into some of the background too, because of the rituals.
The witchcraft part of it, you mean?
Well, I was going to say that in a second. So anyways, I believe that not like I think that the background of some of these rituals are deeper than just like, oh, they just came up with this ritual out of nowhere.
Right.
You know, and said, oh, this will be our initiation thing, or this will be our weekly sacrifice.
I wouldn't be surprised if the devil was talking to them or something.
Yeah.
Like if they were at least influenced spiritually. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, but I think it dates back farther than the Illuminati being established.
Yep.
And maybe the Illuminati...
You mean rituals themselves go back further than...
Yeah, like...
these kind of sacrifices?
Yeah, like it...
yeah.
Well, like, it's connected...
They obviously adopted because of who they are.
Yeah, I mean, deep down, this is where the core origination of the Illuminati came from.
Yeah.
Origin,
yeah.
The origin of it is witchcraft.
Yeah. Yep.
And maybe this will help shed some light on it.
Or some darkness.
Or some darkness, I guess. This is from theoccult.com, occultworld.com.
The same one we used for the other article.
So we'll just kind of go through some of these different rituals according
to catch our eye, yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to, you can become a member today. Click here.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but...
Yeah, hell no. So the first one is baptism.
I really hope you don't get blasted with, like, viruses and malware.
We'll find out. I'm putting my computer on the line here. All right, what do you want to read any of this?
Yeah. So baptism, well, their version of it rather. A spiritual baptism is a spiritual rite of transformation, rebirth, initiation, and exorcism. In the Christian tradition, baptism protects the soul against evil and the snares of the devil. In possessing cases, a demoniac who is exorcised must be rebaptized. Christian baptism was performed with water and keeping with the tradition established by Jesus' baptism in the River Jordan. In Catholicism, holy water is sprinkled on the forehead. In some Protestant denominations, baptism is done by complete immersion in water. That's how I got baptized. Baptism are part of many magical rituals and may include other elements as well. Baptism by fire and baptism by blood symbolize intense purging and purification. Blood is also as redemptive. Yep. Symbolizing the blood shed by Christ on the cross. In deliverance ministry, baptism is essential in order to receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit for discernment of spirits and healing.
It's weird they seem to know a lot about Christianity.
For the purpose of battling it, though.
Yeah.
So you want to make this part, Jude?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
During the witch hunts of the Inquisition, the devil was believed to administer a sacrilegious baptism to his followers, usually at a Sabbath.
A Sabbat? Oh,
Sabbath.
I was gonna say that's a blatant mockery.
Yeah. Of Sunday.
Yeah.
Sabbath. And as part of that was believed in witchcraft. It was believed on Sundays that witches would get together on Sabbath.
Basically mock Christians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as part of an infernal pact, the witches renounced their Christian faith and then adopted a grotesque new name to symbolize their new identity. Isobel Gowdy, a Scottish witch tried in 1662, said that witches were baptized in their own blood and took names such as Abel and Stout, over the dike with it, raise the wind, pickle nearest the wind, what? Batter them down, Maggie, and blocade. What does that even mean? That's so weird.
Well, it seems that, if we can stop laughing at the names for a second, it means that it seems that a lot of these, first of all, witches are women, correct?
Yeah.
A lot of these appear to be sexual names.
Yes.
And what does that tell you?
Well, that's part of the core of their rituals,
right.
is like in a sexual nature.
Right.
And well, a lot of the it was interesting
Going into even the names.
Well, yeah, and also you got to remember that a lot of these witches were tried on, they were accused of witchcraft if they were cheating on their husbands and stuff like that.
Yep.
Even if they weren't
have a
witches.
name like that, though. I mean,
yeah. According, let's see if there's anything else. It says children were baptized by the devil along with adults.
oh, look at this quote, Jared.
Okay.
So this is a guy called Louis Galfrey who quoted this. He stated, "I confess that baptism is administered at the Sabbat, and that every sorcerer devoting himself to the devil binds himself in a particular vow that he will have all of his children baptized at the Sabbat. And this may by any possible means be effected. Every child who is thus baptized at the Sabbat receives a name, wholly different from his own name. I confess that at this baptism water sulfur and salt are employed. The sulfur renders the recipient the devil's slave, while salt confirms his baptism in the devil's service. I confess that the form and intention are to baptize in the name of Lucifer, Beelzebub, and other demons, making the sign of the cross beginning backwards, and then facing from the feet and ending at the head. Such accounts of sabbats and baptisms have been discredited as fables that witnesses are forced to confess to by torture." So that's like basically mocking.
Further reading, MacNut, Francis.
Oh my
What a
gosh.
name.
What a name indeed.
MacNut.
We have a little bit of time. Maybe we can read one more from this site.
Any other interesting ones? Blessings and consecration for books and...
What is death prayer?
A death prayer is a curse done by ritual in which a victim is killed at a distance magically.
Let's see what this says.
Hold on. Ugh.
Oh my gosh!
Ugh.
Drop a mail. Let me see them. Damn. Alright, let's see this. A death prayer was a curse done by ritual in which a victim is killed at a distance magically. The death prayer was especially prominent in the magic of the kahuna, keepers of the secret, priests of Hawaii. Ooh, okay. A death prayer was done as punishment for a grievous offense of crime and also for revenge. Unlike many other forms of cursing in which the victim knows he or she is being cursed, the victim of a kahuna death prayer was given no warning. However, a sense of guilt over wrongdoing is important in the success of the curse. The symptoms of the death prayer are slow paralysis, starting with the lower limbs, and gradually creeping up the torso until the heart is stopped. To perform a death prayer, a kahuna must be able to control up purely subconscious spirits. He inherits these from another kahuna, or captures and enslaves them by hypnosis. He orders them to absorb his own mana or vital force, which is manipulated in many magical spells. The kahuna sends the spirits to the victim. They shock the victim with the force of the mana and then suck off the victim's own mana. Initiating the creeping and fatal numbness. Death prayers are ritual cursing to death exist in other forms as well. Sucking off.
Oh no.
Sucking off.
I can't.
Will you stop sucking off, demon? Stop it.
I can't with these.
Like that scene from
witches.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
A little bit. What does that sound like, Jared?
Well, it sounds like a lot of hoopla. No. No. Hoopla.
Bonk. Bonk.
Bonk. No, it's scary. For first of all, but you can see how some of those witchcraft rituals are allegedly used nowadays.
Right.
Especially when you're using, like, what was it, like the penta... There was a picture of it.
Like a pentagram or
Like
something?
a pentagram.
Yeah.
Like in some of their rituals, like they have, like the person, like, laying down.
Like this?
Yeah, like on the ground on the pentagram.
Yeah.
And then they, like cut him or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably.
I'm not sure what... They do some horrible stuff to them, but it's all has its, like, where do you think the pentagram comes from? I mean, that's like a demonic, devil worshipping
It is the
activity.
demonic symbol.
Yeah, and witches have used that as their symbol.
And it's a mockery of Christianity as well. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It's a mockery of the Star of David. I don't know if you knew that, but
Yeah. But yeah, it's there's a lot of evidence to point to that, you know, the Illuminati goes back farther than just 1700s.
right.
And when we're talking 1700s, it's not like just
That's
the
when
early...
that's when they became a formal group, though.
Yeah,
actually-
and that was not until the later 1700s.
right.
Like 1776.
Something like that. Right.
Um,
What's coincidentally when we gained our freedom.
yeah.
So think about that for a second.
But then the Illuminati could be
the whole
involved
idea-
with the
Yep,
French
yep,
Revolution, and
yep.
that wasn't too far after that.
American, right.
Yeah.
Think about that. Freedom, enlightenment. That whole idea. Maybe we're not supposed to exist. Maybe we're not supposed to.
Yeah. That's a scary thought. Yeah, so any closing statements on this podcast?
Illuminati is freaking scary.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like,
There's a lot to it, guys.
and we're not done.
And we're not done.
Nowhere
This
near done.
This is only part one
Yes.
of our multiple part
Series.
podcast
But you don't even have a
series.
number on how many we want to do because it's so big and so complex that, like,
Yeah, we could go on multiple episodes here.
yes.
So we're going to
Make a playlist.
make a playlist for you guys
On YouTube.
On YouTube, and so we're gonna dive into, like, the entertainment industry, which kind of goes, like, with the music and movies and
All that
stuff like that,
yeah.
and then we're gonna kind of go maybe talk about, like, how the government is
Economy,
affected
and the
with the
economy.
economy, and we'll just kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
You know,
If we feel like we can be done, we will, but we might
Yeah.
discover some other things that, technology,
yeah,
whether that plays into it.
and we could always add to it later.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just a heads up, though, the entertainment part of this podcast series is going to be very heavy on the video front,
Yes.
because there are...
We need to have evidence.
We need evidence, and there will be articles, of course, but I do have videos, like, on TikTok and whatnot of people, like, kind of diving into some of the alleged Illuminati involved celebrities.
Right.
And so we can take a look at that, too, and see if it seems plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was kind of interesting, and they made some very valid points.
Yeah.
So we're going to just play
Check that
those
out
on
and
the
see what we
podcast.
think, yeah.
It'll be pretty much a, a reaction videos.
Yeah.
We're just, and if Aiden finds anything, he'll add them in. If I find stuff, I'll add them in. We just work together on this. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's everything for this podcast, guys.
Hey, guys, I will say this too. Just discuss really quick, Jared.
Yeah.
When we said getting unauthorized access to the truth, that's our motto for this podcast, right?
Especially, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's go off on this really quick. We didn't really say why we wanted to do this. So I feel I want to do this topic, right? Because what does our podcast say, right? Like, we want the truth, and
Yeah.
not a lot of people know the truth.
Right.
And it's like we are having to dig into some deeper sources than we would normally
Yeah.
to find information.
I'm using a different search engine than Google in order to find this information.
Right.
I
'Cause
can't.
Google won't spit it out for you.
Yeah, I'm using Free Spoke,
Right.
which allows no control over the like
What you
suppressing
see,
information.
Yeah.
So it's working wonders for us.
Right. Oh,
First
yeah.
of all.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like it's, this is something that's why we were talking about this podcast series and for a couple weeks now, and we've been working on these notes for a couple weeks.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to work on it. So our next podcast could come out a couple weeks after this one, or even longer.
We just don't know, yeah.
It just depends how long it takes us to do the research.
And how in-depth we want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a very freelance series, guys.
Yeah, and we're also
We might have podcasts in between them.
yeah,
I mean, if Joe's okay with that.
or we
of
could just
course.
go into headlines too.
Right.
Take a break
right,
for that.
Right.
Yeah. But also too, we're kind of experimenting with the conspiracy theory.
And see what first video was an experiment to see if you guys enjoy this kind of stuff. And if so, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, because
Even if you don't, we'll keep doing it, to be honest.
Yeah.
'Cause we find it interesting.
yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kind of we're trying to branch out to try to see what people like.
Yeah.
So definitely, if you guys like this type of content,
Share it.
and subscribe, because we're going to continue to dive into the Illuminati
Yes.
and check
All the crazy stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to uncover what the Illuminati's about,
What they're up to.
and then also give us suggestions too for any other conspiracies you want us to dive into.
Whether it's related to the Illuminati or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's no topics off the table, so
Yeah.
we're
Because we're off the grid.
yeah we're gonna consider all topics here, and
Yes.
and hopefully we'll have a fun time doing it.
And hopefully we won't get shut down. That's another thing I'm worried about.
Yeah, so that's another part too. We are now on Rumble.
Yes.
So working on, I still got to add the off the grid art to our profile and stuff,
Yeah.
so you know that it's us. But our podcasts are going up on Rumble now.
Hey.
So if we are for whatever reason banned off of YouTube,
we
we
exist
will.
on Rumble.
Yeah, we exist on Rumble, so we have a backup.
Yes.
And so, but subscribe to both. So then, just in case
Subscribe
we
to
do,
YouTube and Rumble.
yes, that really does help us.
And all the other channels, obviously, too, like Google Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff.
Oh yeah, all the goods. All right, and I guess
I
we'll.
think that's it, guys.
Yeah, I
right?
guess that's everything, and we'll see you guys in our next conspiracy.
See ya.
See ya.